everyone. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about with this chapter, and I actually want to start by talking about something loosely connected to the chapter, which is God Acnoelle's identity. Because for those who don't know, the cover of Volume 21, or a concept of the cover of 21, or a concept art of it, was released today on Twitter, and the most striking thing about it, aside from how, personally out of place Crow's color scheme feels to me, is if you look at Acnoelle, there are very similar, distinct characteristics about her that she shares with Mother. Now, it could just be a coincidence, but through reading this series, I've learned nothing is as simple as that with Mashima anymore. And it just begs the question of what exactly is the connection. But also, this would just add, but whatever that connection is, just getting this cover page in itself also kind of reveals in itself the reason as to why Ziggy allied himself with Acnoelle, because if there wasn't some kind of connection between herself and Mother, then Ziggy wouldn't have even bothered teaming up with her. And honestly, just her title, looking back on her title, the Mother of Dragons, pretty much says a lot and about what that, and in terms of the nature of Mother herself, and just what that connection between the dragons and Mother is. Because if Ziggy, and even kind of adds a little bit more to the context of what Ziggy had said previously about how everything beginning and ending with Mother, and in some ways you could say this connection was teased all the way back when we saw our very first dragon in the series. The only question is how it all ties together now, because with this real, I think there are, some are saying that Acnoelle could be Mother's daughter, but the dragon connection makes me wonder if it's more than that. My personal theory about it is that Acnoelle is Mother's daughter in the loosest terms, but in some ways who with Mother and Acnoelle both being machines, it does make me think that whoever created, because Mother in herself is a machine, whoever created Mother is also the same person who ended up creating Acnoelle as well. I'm thinking it doesn't just end with Mother, even though Mother is in herself kind of a godlike figure. I think even Mother had a creator, and this creator is the one who made both Mother and Acnoelle. That's kind of my baseline theory of the case. I don't know for sure, but it feels like the most logical one right now. Now, all that aside, though, one of the bigger highlights we see is that we get a setup for a fight between Hermit and Ivory taking on Killer and Clown, which I gotta say, the way Mashima narratively built upon this fight was fantastic, because I was absolutely content and satisfied with just seeing Moscow jumping in to take on Killer and Clown, but having that whole, and just giving us that whole underdog vibe to it of having the characters who weren't considered the most strong just fight back against them. But then he takes it a step further by actually bringing in Hermit and Ivory to confront their Darkstar equivalents. And let me tell you, I am absolutely loving what Mashima's doing with this fight already. Killer, it's one of those things where narratively, Killer beat Weiss, so he thought he was just hot shit and strong, and says, hey, I'm hot shit, I'm strong enough, I can take on Hermit. But man, did he get humbled fast. Literally, the speed at which Hermit was shutting him down in this chapter and all his moves was absolutely fantastic. I loved seeing this little asshole get humbled, get absolutely humbled and shit on. And Now it's gonna now it's gonna be a battle of who's got the stronger overdrive. Which, yeah, as much as I would enjoy your suffering, as your suffering killer, I do what Hermit says. Otherwise, this isn't gonna be a fair fight. Like literally, she will destroy. If what she says about her having an overdrive is true, she will destroy you. And so, unless you want this to be a fair fight, dude, you better do what she says and activate your overdrive or whatever the hell or whatever battle dress it is for you. Now, obviously, as you know, we basically got another established connection between the Starshines and Dark Stars. This time with Hermit and Killer, which you already know my piece on that one, but it does kind of make me wonder now just how much of Hermit's how much Hermit remembers, or how many memories are actually intact, or just how much she's regained if she can use overdrive like the Dark Stars and even Ivory for that matter, or if this is just something they learned during the time skip. But like in either case, like, oh man, I'm going to enjoy this fight, and it's too bad Weiss and Rebecca lost, but if it was done to make this thrashing happen, I am completely fine with that. With that said, we also see that Shiki has managed to contact Pino, and we basically established that, yeah, Shiki's role right now is going to be to save Weiss and Rebecca, which is good, but I also can't help feel it is for the purpose of taking Shiki a bit out of the action for now, as well to give all these other characters a little more of the spotlight, which, if I am being honest, even though Mashima did build up the confrontation with the Dark Stars and Starshines amazingly, I feel there's a bit of a missed opportunity in taking Moscow out of the battle so soon. Not even just Moscow, but not even just Moscow, but even Labilia, like taking her out of the battle so soon. Like, I understand why, but it feels like a bit of a waste too. But it probably wouldn't. Again, I understand it probably wouldn't have been a long of a fight either. And I do like that Mashima did address arguably the biggest problem with the Eden Zero crew has had for a while, which is they take too long to address a threat when it happens. But here, Hermit and Ivory take no time at all to just walk up to the threat and say "fuck you," and say, "All right, time to play with you assholes." And for as much as I would love for seeing an absolute one-sided thrashing, I do know that's not going to happen through the case, because Killer and Clown are still threats. So it might be more difficult than what they're used to, but having to deal with, but it is going to be a battle. And yeah, one thing that did get me a little curious, and something I didn't clue into until now, is how Mashima drew attention to the fact that Justice didn't entirely tie her up, and he didn't tie Elsie up, and that he left her, like, he only tied her arms up, he didn't tie her legs or anything up. And even though Mashima did play it up for a gag, like, if you really wanted to keep someone from escaping, you'd have to tie every part of their body up, but he only tied up her arms. And for as much as Mashima played it up for a gag, I think Justice did it for the intended purpose of allowing her to escape should things go completely south. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that scene, but at the same time, that kind of just makes the whole scene earlier chapters of her, like, dragging her away from the fight with Ziggy a little pointless now at that point. Like, just fight alongside her, help her out. Like, don't go be pulling so many unnecessary moves. But I guess it is who he is, despite how frustrating his actions can be. But it's just it's just who he is it's just his by the book mentality, and he can never do things easy. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Control. Be sure to the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight Vune, signing off. Later, everyone.